The sun rose on what seemed like an ordinary Tuesday morning. People around the world went about their daily routines, unaware that this day would change the course of human history forever. High above Earth's atmosphere, a massive alien ship appeared out of nowhere. Its sleek, silvery hull reflected the sunlight, creating an eerie glow visible even from the ground. This was the flagship of the Zarkon, a powerful member of the Galactic Council. Commander Xylith, a tall, blue-skinned alien with 4 arms, stood on the bridge of the ship. His large, pupil-less eyes narrowed as he gazed at the blue planet below. "Primitive species," he muttered. "They don't even have proper space defenses." With a wave of his upper right hand, Xylith gave the order. "Begin the attack. Show these humans their place in the galaxy." Bright beams of energy shot from the ship, targeting major cities around the globe. New York, London, Tokyo, Moscow. One by one, Earth's most populous areas were hit. On the ground, chaos erupted. The attacks came without warning, leaving governments and militaries scrambling to respond. Skyscrapers crumbled, bridges collapsed, and panic spread like wildfire. In Washington, D.C., President Sarah Chen was rushed to a secure bunker. Her face was pale, but her voice remained steady as she addressed her advisors. "What are we dealing with?" she demanded. General Rodriguez, his uniform disheveled, shook his head. "Madam President, it's not of this world. Our satellites picked up a massive object in orbit just moments before the attacks began." "Aliens?" President Chen's eyes widened. "Are you telling me we're under attack by aliens?" Before anyone could respond, a holographic image appeared in the center of the room. A being unlike anything they had ever seen materialize before them. Commander Xylith's voice boomed through the bunker. "People of Earth, I am Commander Xylith of the Galactic Council. Your planet now belongs to us. Surrender, and we may spare your lives." President Chen stepped forward, her voice firm despite the fear gripping her heart. "We will not surrender. Earth belongs to humanity, and we will defend it." Xylith's laughter echoed around them. "Foolish humans, you have no idea what you're up against." The hologram disappeared, leaving the room in stunned silence. As news of the alien invasion spread, people reacted in different ways. Some panicked, rushing to stores to stock up on supplies. Others joined impromptu militias, determined to fight back however they could. In a small town in Kansas, Farmer John Miller watched the sky with narrowed eyes. He clutched his old rifle, knowing it would be useless against the alien technology, but unwilling to stand idle. "We've faced tough times before," he told his frightened family. "We'll get through this too." Meanwhile, in a secret underground lab in Switzerland, Dr. Amelia Wong worked frantically. She had been developing experimental shield technology for years. Now it might be humanity's only hope. Come on," she muttered, her fingers flying over the keyboard. If she could just boost the power output, maybe they could create a defense against the alien weapons. Back in space, Commander Xylith watched Earth's feeble attempts to fight back with amusement. Missiles launched from silos around the world simply disintegrated against his ship's shields. "Pathetic," he sneered. "This planet will make a fine addition to the Council's territories." But as the first day of the invasion drew to a close, Xylith noticed something odd. Despite the devastation, despite the clear technological superiority of the Zarkon, the humans weren't giving up. If anything, their resistance seemed to be growing stronger. For the first time, a flicker of doubt crossed Xylith's mind. Had the Galactic Council underestimated these humans? As night fell over a changed Earth, people everywhere steeled themselves for the fight ahead. In labs, in military bases, and in ordinary homes, a single thought united humanity. They would not go down without a fight. The Galactic Council had no idea what they had just unleashed. As dawn broke on the second day of the alien invasion, the world was a changed place. Smoke rose from the ruins of once great cities, and the alien ship still loomed ominously in the sky. But something else was rising too, the indomitable spirit of humanity. In an emergency United Nations session, world leaders gathered virtually to address the crisis. The usual political rivalries were set aside in the face of this unprecedented threat. President Sarah Chen of the United States spoke first, her voice firm and resolute. "We face an enemy beyond anything we've encountered before, but we will not falter. We will not surrender. Today, we must unite as one human race." Her words were met with unanimous agreement. For the first time in history, every nation pledged to pool their resources and knowledge to fight this alien menace. In Moscow, Russian President Andrei Volkov ordered his best scientists to share their most advanced weapons technology. "No more secrets," he declared. "The survival of our species is at stake." Meanwhile, in Beijing, the Chinese government opened its vaults of rare earth elements, crucial for manufacturing advanced electronics. "We will provide whatever is needed," Premier Lai announced. "Earth's defense is our top priority." As governments mobilized, ordinary citizens stepped up too. In every country, volunteers flocked to help, from retired soldiers offering combat training to tech wizards working on hacking alien systems. In a small garage in Silicon Valley, a group of programmers worked tirelessly. Led by Zora Patel, a brilliant young coder, they were developing an AI that could potentially interpret alien communications. "If we can understand them, maybe we can find a weakness," Zara explained, her eyes red from lack of sleep, but burning with determination. Across the Atlantic, in a hidden bunker beneath London, Dr. James Harper and his team made a breakthrough. They had been studying the energy signatures from the alien weapons. "It's incredible," Dr. Harper exclaimed. "Their technology is advanced, yes, but it's not incomprehensible. We might be able to develop countermeasures." This news spread rapidly, igniting hope in hearts around the world. Humanity might be outgunned, but they weren't out of the fight yet. In orbit, Commander Xylith observed the sudden burst of human activity with growing unease. He had expected panic, chaos, easy conquest. Instead, he was witnessing coordination, determination. It was unsettling. "Increase the attack intensity," he ordered. "We must crush their spirit quickly." But as new waves of energy beams rained down on Earth, they met with an unexpected response. In Switzerland, Dr. Amelia Wong's experimental shields flickered to life over key locations. They weren't perfect. Some beams still got through, but it was enough to give humans a fighting chance. "It's working," Dr. Wong shouted, pumping her fist in the air. "We can defend ourselves." The news of this small victory spread like wildfire, boosting morale worldwide. In shipyards and factories, workers doubled their efforts, retooling to produce new weapons and spacecraft. Even children found ways to contribute. In schools around the world, students collected scrap metal for the war effort, wrote algorithms to help with resource distribution, and sent messages of support to those on the front lines. As the second day of the invasion drew to a close, humanity had transformed. Gone was the initial shock and fear. In its place stood a united, determined global community. In the White House Situation Room, President Chen received reports from around the world. Despite the ongoing attacks, despite the losses, humanity was rallying. "We've suffered greatly," she told her advisors, "but we've also achieved more in the past 48 hours than I would have thought possible. We're not just surviving. We're preparing to fight back." General Rodriguez nodded grimly. "The aliens wanted to shock and awe us into submission. Instead, they've woken a sleeping giant." As night fell, the alien ship continued its ominous vigil above the Earth. But now, millions of eyes looked up at it with defiance rather than fear. In homes and bunkers, in makeshift hospitals and hastily constructed command centers, people worked, planned, and prepared. The message was clear: Earth would not fall. Humanity would prevail. And somewhere in the vast expanse of space, as news of Earth's unexpected resistance reached the Galactic Council, the first seeds of worry began to take root. They had come expecting an easy conquest. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. As the first rays of sunlight pierced the smoke-filled sky on the third day of the invasion, Earth was ready to fight back. The past 48 hours had seen humanity unite and prepare like never before in history. In a fortified underground base in the Rocky Mountains, General Maria Rodriguez stood before a group of the world's top military leaders. Her eyes blazed with determination as she outlined humanity's first major counteroffensive. Operation Slingshot begins now, she announced. We may not have their technology, but we have something they don't expect: the will to survive against all odds. Across the globe, a coordinated attack launched simultaneously. It wasn't just military might. It was the culmination of human ingenuity and desperation. In orbit, Commander Xylith's smug confidence turned to shock as his ship's sensors blared warnings. "Impossible," he growled. "How are they penetrating our shields?" The answer lay in the combined efforts of scientists worldwide. Dr. Amelia Wong's shield technology had been reverse-engineered to create concentrated energy beams that could disrupt the alien defenses. Meanwhile, in Silicon Valley, Zara Patel and her team had cracked a portion of the alien communication code. "We can't understand everything," she reported breathlessly to President Chen, "but we've identified their command frequencies. We can jam them." As confusion spread among the alien forces, Earth struck hard. Fighter jets, retrofitted with experimental weapons, soared into the sky. They were piloted by a multinational force of the world's best, their differences set aside for the greater good. Captain Jin Lee of South Korea led the first squadron. "Remember," he told his team, "we're not just fighting for our countries. We're fighting for Earth, for humanity. Let's show these aliens what we're made of." The battle was fierce. Alien energy beams clashed with human missiles in a deadly light show. But for the first time, the aliens were on the defensive. On the ground, another part of the plan unfolded. Teams of hackers, led by a reformed cybercriminal known only as Ghost, launched a massive cyber attack on the alien systems. "Let's see how they like a taste of human chaos." Ghost grinned, fingers flying over the keyboard. The alien ship's systems flickered, creating gaps in their defenses. Earth's forces seized every opportunity, pressing their advantage with a ferocity that surprised even themselves. In New Delhi, Dr. Rajesh Patel made a breakthrough that would change the course of the war. Studying debris from a downed alien fighter, he discovered a fundamental flaw in their propulsion system. "It's their stabilizers," he shouted to his team. "They can't handle rapid gravitational changes. That's their weakness." This information, quickly disseminated to forces worldwide, led to a new tactic. Earth's ships began performing complex maneuvers, pushing the aliens to their limits. As the battle raged on, stories of human bravery emerged. In London, a group of civilians, led by schoolteacher Emily Watson, created a human chain to evacuate a hospital under alien fire. In Rio de Janeiro, off-duty firefighter Carlos Silva flew a damaged helicopter into an alien scout ship, sacrificing himself but taking the enemy down with him. These tales spread rapidly, fueling the resistance and showing the aliens that every human was a potential threat. By nightfall, the impossible had happened. The massive alien ship, once seeming invincible, retreated to a higher orbit, its hull scared and smoking. In the White House Situation Room, a cheer went up. President Chen allowed herself a small smile. "We've bloodied their nose," she said, "but this is just the beginning." Indeed, as news of Earth's partial victory spread, the mood shifted. Fear gave way to hope, despair to determination. Humanity had proven that they weren't easy prey. In his damaged ship, Commander Xylith seethed with rage and disbelief. "How?" he demanded of his subordinates. "How did these primitives do this?" But deep down, a new emotion stirred in the alien commander: doubt. For the first time, he considered the possibility that the Galactic Council had severely underestimated these humans. As Earth celebrated its first major victory, preparations for the next phase of the war were already underway. In labs and factories, In military bases and civilian homes, humans worked tirelessly. They had tasted victory, and they wanted more. The Galactic Council's easy conquest had turned into a grueling war, and humanity was just getting started. In the darkness of space, other alien races watched with growing interest. The humans were putting up a fight like nothing they'd seen before. Some began to wonder, if humanity won, how would this change the balance of power in the galaxy? The war for Earth had become a war that could reshape the cosmos. Light years away from Earth, in a massive space station that served as the headquarters of the Galactic Council, an emergency session was underway. The Grand Chamber, usually a picture of order and decorum, now buzzed with tension and barely contained chaos. At the center of the storm stood Commander Xylith, his blue skin now a pale shade of distress. He faced the accusatory glares of the council members, each representing a different alien race from across the galaxy. "Explain yourself, Xylith," thundered Grax, the hulking representative of the warrior Kroll race. "How have these primitive humans managed to repel our forces?" Xylith's 4 arms waved in agitation. "They are not as primitive as we thought. Their ability to adapt, to unite in the face of adversity, it's unprecedented." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. Celine, the ethereal delegate from the psychic luminary, spoke next. "Perhaps we were too hasty in our judgment. These humans seem intriguing." The debate raged on, with the council split into factions. Some, like Grax, called for overwhelming force to crush the human resistance. Others, fascinated by humanity's unexpected resilience, argued for a more cautious approach. As the council bickered, news of Earth's continued resistance spread throughout the galaxy. On planets far and wide, beings of all shapes and sizes watched with growing interest as humans defied the odds again and again. Back on Earth, oblivious to the turmoil they were causing in galactic politics, humanity pressed on with their fight for survival. In a hidden facility beneath the Sahara Desert, Dr. Amelia Wong made another breakthrough. "We've managed to reverse engineer their faster-than-light communication technology," she announced to a stunned room of scientists and military leaders. This development changed everything. Earth could now intercept and understand a significant portion of alien transmissions. They learned of the discord within the Galactic Council, and more importantly, of other alien races who might be sympathetic to Earth's plight. President Chen, in a bold move, decided to reach out. "If we can make allies out there," she told her advisors, "we might just have a chance at not only surviving but thriving in this new galactic community." Meanwhile, the alien invasion force above Earth was in disarray. Without clear orders from the squabbling council, Commander Xylith struggled to maintain control of his troops. Captain Jin Lee, leading Earth's newly formed Space Defense Force, saw an opportunity. "They're disorganized," he told his pilots. "It's time to push them back for good." What followed was the most daring operation yet. Earth's ships, built with a mix of human ingenuity and reverse-engineered alien tech, engaged the invaders in a series of lightning-fast attacks. The world watched in awe as human pilots outmaneuvered their alien counterparts, using tactics that seemed insane to the rigid military doctrine of the invaders. In New York, now a battlefield of rubble and resistance, a young hacker named Miguel spotted a pattern in the alien ship movements. "They're predictable," he realized, "like they're following a script." This information, quickly relayed to the front lines, allowed Earth's forces to anticipate and counter the alien moves before they happened. As battles raged in the skies and space above Earth, something unexpected happened on the diplomatic front. A sleek, unfamiliar ship appeared at the edge of the solar system, broadcasting on all frequencies. "People of Earth," came a melodious voice, "I am Ambassador Zera of the Andromeda Alliance. We have watched your struggle with great interest. Perhaps it is time for us to meet." The news sent shockwaves through both human and invader ranks. The Galactic Council, already fractured, now faced the prospect of outside interference. Some council members saw this as an opportunity to save face and end the costly war. Others, like Grax, viewed it as a threat to their authority. "If we back down now," he growled, "we'll be seen as weak across the galaxy." As the council descended further into argument, more alien races began to take sides. Some, impressed by humanity's spirit, secretly sent aid to Earth. Others, fearing the upset of the galactic status quo, pledged support to the invasion. What had started as a simple conquest was rapidly evolving into a complex galactic conflict, with Earth at its center. On the blue planet itself, humans allowed themselves a moment of hope. They were no longer alone in the universe, and not all aliens were enemies. As President Chen prepared to make first contact with the Andromeda Alliance, she addressed the world. "We have faced our greatest challenge and showed the galaxy what humanity is made of. Now we take our first steps into a larger universe. Whatever comes next, we face it together as one human race." The fate of Earth, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. But for the first time since the invasion began, the future looked bright with possibility. The dawn of the new era for humanity broke with a brilliance that outshone even the alien ships still lurking in Earth's orbit. In labs and workshops across the globe, human ingenuity was reaching fever pitch, fueled by desperation, determination, and the treasure trove of alien technology at their fingertips. Dr. Amelia Wong stood in her Swiss lab, dark circles under her eyes betraying countless sleepless nights, but there was a fire in those eyes as she addressed her international team. "Today," she announced, "we make history." With trembling hands, she activated their latest creation. A shimmering field of energy enveloped a test object, and then, in a flash of light, it vanished. Seconds later, it reappeared across the room. Cheers erupted. Earth had cracked teleportation technology. Meanwhile, in a repurposed car factory in Detroit, engineers marveled at their new fleet. Sleek vessels that looked like a cross between fighter jets and spaceships stood ready. Captain Jin Lee, who had flown in to inspect the new craft, couldn't hide his excitement. "From reverse engineering their downships, we've not only matched their propulsion systems," he explained to President Chen via hologram, "we've improved upon them. These babies can outmaneuver anything the aliens throw at us." But it wasn't just in military technology that Earth was advancing. In a secret facility beneath the Australian outback, Dr. Rajesh Patel made a breakthrough that would change life on Earth forever. "We've done it," he breathed, looking at the small device in his hand. "Clean, unlimited energy. No more fossil fuels. No more nuclear power plants. This little thing could power a city." The leap in energy technology had implications beyond Earth's atmosphere. Zara Patel, the young coder who had first cracked the alien communications, now led a team developing AI systems beyond anything previously imagined. "It's not just about raw computing power," she explained to a group of wide-eyed officials. "This AI can think creatively, adapt on the fly. It's the perfect co-pilot for our new space fleet." As remarkable as these advancements were, perhaps the most profound changes were happening in the field of biotechnology. In a high-security lab in Tokyo, Dr. Yuki Tanaka injected a volunteer with a shimmering golden liquid. The volunteer's wounds, sustained in an earlier alien attack, began to heal before their eyes. "Nanobots," Dr. Tanaka explained. "They can repair tissue, fight diseases, even enhance human capabilities. We're on the brink of extending the human lifespan indefinitely." These breakthroughs, astonishing in their own right, were made all the more remarkable by the speed at which they were achieved. What might have taken decades or even centuries of normal scientific progress was compressed into mere weeks under the pressure of alien invasion. However, humanity's technological leap didn't go unnoticed. In his flagship, now retreated to the far side of the moon, Commander Xylith received reports of Earth's advancements with growing alarm. "How is this possible?" he snarled at his subordinates. "They were primitives mere weeks ago." But deep down, Xylith felt a grudging respect for these humans. Their adaptability was unlike anything he had encountered in his centuries of galactic conquest. Back on Earth, as news of each breakthrough spread, a new sentiment began to take hold among the population. Fear and desperation gave way to hope, then to excitement, and finally to a fierce pride. In the streets of every city, in the fields and mountains and deserts, humans looked to the stars not with trepidation, but with a burning curiosity. They had been thrust into a larger, more dangerous universe, but they were rising to the challenge. President Chen, in a global address, captured this new spirit. We have taken the best of what humanity has to offer, our creativity, our determination, our unity in the face of adversity, and combined it with the knowledge gleaned from our would-be conquerors. We are no longer just defenders of Earth. We are becoming citizens of the galaxy. As she spoke, the first of Earth's new starships broke atmosphere, its hull gleaming in the sunlight. Humanity was taking its first true steps into space, not as conquerors, but as explorers. In the Galactic Council chambers, the news of Earth's rapid advancement sent shockwaves through the assembly. Some members called for immediate action to stem the human tide. Others argued for opening diplomatic channels before it was too late. And in the darkness between the stars, other eyes watched with interest. The humans had done the impossible, catapulting themselves from planetary civilization to galactic players in a matter of weeks. The balance of power in the galaxy was shifting, and at the center of it all stood humanity, no longer a primitive species to be conquered, but a force to be reckoned with. Earth was ready for the next phase of the conflict. The galaxy would never be the same again. The vastness of space was shattered by the sudden appearance of Earth's newly assembled fleet. Sleek, gleaming ships, each a testament to human ingenuity and alien technology, dropped out of faster-than-light travel near the Galactic Council's home system. On the bridge of the flagship, Terra Nova, Admiral Sarah Chen, formerly President of the United States, stood tall. Her eyes, reflecting the starlight, were fixed on the massive space station that housed the Galactic Council. "All ships, report in," she commanded, her voice steady despite the weight of humanity's future on her shoulders. One by one, captains from around the world confirmed their readiness. Captain Jin Lee, hero of Earth's first victory, led the attack squadron. Dr. Amelia Wong, now head of Earth's Science Division, managed the fleet's advanced defensive systems. Even Zora Patel was there, her AI creations integrated into every ship's core. As Earth's fleet approached, alarms blared throughout the Galactic Council station. The council members, caught in the middle of another heated debate about the human problem, were stunned into silence. Commander Xylith, who had been giving his report, turned to the viewport. His four eyes widened in disbelief. "Impossible," he whispered. But the impossible was happening. Humanity had brought the fight to the heart of galactic power. Admiral Chen's voice boomed across all frequencies, reaching every ship and station in the system. "Attention, Galactic Council. We come seeking justice for the unprovoked attack on our world. We offer you one chance to surrender and face trial for your actions." In the council chambers, panic erupted. Some members immediately called for surrender, while others demanded all-out war. In the chaos, the Kroll representative, Grax, seized control. "We will never surrender to primitives," he roared, ordering the Council's defense fleet to attack. What followed was a battle that would be remembered for millennia across the galaxy. Earth's ships, faster and more maneuverable than anything the Council had seen, danced through enemy fire. Captain Lee led his squadron in moves that seemed to defy physics, their ships blinking in and out of existence as they utilized their short-range teleportation tech. Dr. Wong's defensive systems proved impenetrable, shimmering shields absorbing energy blasts that could have destroyed whole planets. And throughout it all, Zora's AIs predicted enemy movements with uncanny accuracy, allowing the human fleet to stay 2 steps ahead. But the Council's forces were vast, and desperation made them dangerous. As the battle raged, it seemed that for every Council ship destroyed, 2 more took its place. Admiral Chen gritted her teeth. They were winning, but at a cost. "We need to end this quickly," she muttered. That's when Dr. Rajesh Patel's voice crackled over the comm. "Admiral, the convergence device is ready." A hush fell over the bridge. The convergence device was their secret weapon, a technology so advanced it bordered on the mystical. It could, in theory, create a localized field where the laws of physics could be rewritten. "We have no choice," Chen said, her voice heavy. "Initiate the convergence." As Patel activated the device, reality itself seemed to warp around the Council's main fleet. Ships found themselves unable to move or fire, trapped in a bubble where their technology simply didn't work. In the Council chamber, Grax watched in horror as his forces were neutralized. But before he could react, the doors burst open. A team of humans, led by the reformed hacker Ghost, had teleported aboard during the confusion. "This ends now," Ghost declared, training an alien weapon on the Council members. With their fleet disabled and their headquarters infiltrated, the Galactic Council had no choice but to surrender. As news of humanity's victory spread across the galaxy, celebrations erupted on Earth and on countless alien worlds that had suffered under the Council's tyranny. In the aftermath, Admiral Chen addressed not just Earth, but the entire galaxy. "Today marks a new beginning," she said, her words translated into thousands of alien languages. "Earth extends a hand of friendship to all peaceful races. Together, we can build a fairer, more just galactic community." As the dust settled, the true impact of humanity's actions began to sink in. In a matter of months, they had gone from an unknown species to the dominant force in the galaxy. But with great power came great responsibility, and Earth's leaders knew the real challenge was just beginning. The galaxy watched and waited, wondering what this young, ambitious, and formidable race would do next. The age of humanity had begun, and the stars themselves seemed to shine a little brighter. 1 year after the fall of the Galactic Council, the grand chamber that once housed the galaxy's most powerful beings now buzzed with a different energy. Representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered, their diverse forms a testament to the vastness of life in the universe. At the center of it all stood Admiral Sarah Chen, now serving as Earth's ambassador to the stars. "Welcome," Chen's voice rang out, translated simultaneously into countless languages, "to the first assembly of the Galactic Confederation." The Galactic Confederation was humanity's vision for a more just and equitable interstellar community. Gone were the days of tyranny and subjugation. In their place, a system of mutual cooperation and respect was taking root. As Chen outlined the principles of the new order, many alien delegates listened with a mixture of hope and wariness. Humanity's meteoric rise from a primitive species to galactic superpower had left many wondering what to expect. Zara of the Andromeda Alliance, one of Earth's earliest alien supporters, spoke up. "Humanity has proven its strength," she said, her melodious voice carrying across the chamber. "But how will you prove your wisdom?" Chen smiled. "By learning from all of you," she replied. "Earth doesn't seek to rule, but to collaborate. Our strength lies not in domination, but in diversity and innovation." To demonstrate this commitment, Chen introduced a series of initiatives. Earth would share its technological advancements, including Dr. Wang's shield technology and Dr. Patel's clean energy solutions, with all member worlds. In return, they sought to learn from the ancient wisdom of long-established alien civilizations. The reformed hacker, Ghost, now Earth's chief of interstellar cybersecurity, unveiled a galaxy-wide communication network. "This will allow instant communication and data sharing across the Confederation," he explained. "Knowledge is power, and we believe this power should be shared." Not all were convinced. Grax, the former Kroll representative to the old council, now spoke for a faction of worlds wary of the new human-led order. "Pretty words," he growled. "But how do we know you won't become the very tyrants you overthrew?" It was Captain Jin Li, hero of the Earth Council War, who answered. "Because we remember what it was like to be the underdog," he said simply. "We have no desire to inflict that feeling on others. As the assembly progressed, it became clear that humanity's approach was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Where the old council had ruled through fear and manipulation, Earth sought to lead through example and cooperation. Dr. Amelia Wong presented plans for a galaxy-wide scientific coalition. "Imagine," she said, her eyes shining, "what we could achieve if we combined the scientific knowledge of 1,000 worlds." The initiative was met with excitement from many of the scientifically inclined species. Even some of the more skeptical delegates found themselves intrigued by the possibilities. Meanwhile, on Earth and its newly established colony worlds, humanity was experiencing a renaissance. The influx of alien knowledge and technology had sparked a new age of exploration and discovery. Cities were being rebuilt with advanced materials, diseases were being eradicated with alien medical techniques, and the first human ships were pushing beyond the boundaries of known space. But it wasn't just humanity that was changing. Across the galaxy, worlds that had long suffered under the old regime were flourishing. Trade routes were established, cultural exchanges became common, and a new era of galactic peace seemed possible for the first time in eons. As the first day of the assembly drew to a close, Admiral Chen stood once more before the gathered delegates. "We have taken the first steps on a long journey," she said. "There will be challenges ahead, misunderstandings to overcome, trust to be built. But I believe that together, we can create a galaxy that future generations will be proud to inherit." The chamber erupted in applause, a cacophony of sounds from 1,000 different species united in hope for the future. As the delegates filed out, discussing excitedly the possibilities that lay ahead, Chen found a quiet moment to look out at the stars. In just a few short months, humanity had gone from fighting for its survival to shaping the destiny of the galaxy. The future was uncertain, but it was bright with possibility. Humanity had found its place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as innovators, peacekeepers, and bridge builders. As new alliances were forged and old wounds began to heal, one thing became clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. The age of humanity had begun, and with it, a new chapter in the cosmic story. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter that night, as if in approval of the new path the galaxy had chosen. The adventure was just beginning.